Crossing the desert requires wisdom. Summary: taking refuge in the three jewels is the first step toward truth and prosperity. Conversely, those who hold wrong beliefs will suffer and lose their way. The Bodhisattva, once a merchant, avoided a goblin trick. A foolish young merchant dumped his water, misled by goblins claiming there was more ahead. His men, unable to cook rice, weakened from hunger and were eaten. The Bodhisattva kept his water, and his men survived. Anathapindika, a wealthy treasurer, went to the Jetavana monastery to visit the Blessed One. He brought with him 500 friends, disciples of various philosophical schools. After paying homage and making offerings, he and his companions sat down to listen to the Blessed One's sermon. The Blessed One delivered a sweet and beautiful sermon on the truth, with a voice as powerful as a lion's roar and as gentle as a necklace of precious gems. The 500 disciples were so moved that they abandoned their former beliefs and took refuge in the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. From then on, they often accompanied Anathapindika to the monastery to listen to the Buddha's sermons. However, a few months later, the Blessed One left Jetavana for Rajagaha. As soon as he departed, the 500 disciples reverted to their old beliefs. When the Blessed One returned after 7 or 8 months, Anathapindika again brought his friends to the monastery and informed the Buddha that they had abandoned the three jewels during his absence. The Buddha explained that there is no higher refuge than the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and that those who take refuge in them will be liberated from suffering and reborn in a glorious realm. He emphasized that abandoning the three jewels to follow other teachings is a grave mistake. To illustrate the danger of following false teachings, he then told a story. The Buddha told the following story. Once upon a time in the city of Benares there lived a wise merchant, the Bodhisattva, a previous incarnation of the Buddha, and a foolish, stubborn merchant. Both were preparing to lead a caravan of 500 carts loaded with goods across a long and dangerous desert. The Bodhisattva, knowing that traveling with a large group would be difficult, suggested that one caravan go first and the other follow. The foolish merchant, eager to gain the upper hand, chose to go first, believing that the road would be smoother, the grass fresher for the oxen, and the prices better for the goods. The Bodhisattva saw the advantage of going later, as he would travel on a road that had already been cleared, benefit from a well that had already been dug, and take advantage of prices that had already been set. The foolish merchant's caravan set out, carrying a large quantity of water. In the middle of the desert, a cunning goblin disguised as a human approached them in a beautiful carriage. The goblin and his followers, drenched and adorned with lotus flowers, claimed that ahead lay a lush, rain-soaked forest with an abundant water source. The goblin advised the merchant to discard the water to lighten the load, as it was no longer needed. The foolish merchant, without hesitation, followed the advice. When night fell, the caravan could not find any water. Exhausted and thirsty, the men and oxen collapsed. That night, the goblins and their companions from the city appeared and devoured every person and animal, leaving only bones along with the 500 carts and their goods intact. 6 weeks later, the Bodhisattva's party set out on their journey. He ensured everyone had enough water and warned them not to drink water without permission or eat any unfamiliar plants. In the middle of the desert, they encountered the goblin again, who repeated the same false story as before. However, the Bodhisattva was not deceived. He recognized the man by his red eyes and lack of a shadow, signs that he was a goblin. The Bodhisattva refused to discard the water and asked the group for signs of rain. They confirmed that they had not seen storm clouds or lightning or heard thunder. The Bodhisattva declared the man a goblin and warned that the previous party, led by the foolish merchant, might have been destroyed for trusting the goblin. The Bodhisattva urged everyone to continue without wasting a single drop of water. Soon they reached the remains of the ill-fated caravan, 500 carts and scattered skeletons. The Bodhisattva set up a secure camp for the night, placing oxen to pull the cart in the center and assigning guards. The next morning, he replaced the weak carts and common goods with sturdy carts and the remaining precious items. They continued their journey, reached their destination, and returned safely without losing a single person. After telling the story, the Buddha explained the lesson. In the past, as in the present, those who foolishly followed false refuges met destruction, but those who clung to the truth prospered. The Buddha concluded by identifying the characters in the story. Devdutta's previous life was that of a foolish merchant, and his followers were his disciples. The wise merchant, the Bodhisattva, was the Buddha himself. The 500 disciples who heard the lesson on the importance of steadfastly holding to the truth attained stream entry.